pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Minutes of the regular commission meeting held August 1st, 2022.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Hamry, second by Hatch. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Minutes of the special commission meeting held on July 21st, July 25th, July 27th, and August 8th, 2022.
Motion.
Motion by Pierce, Commissioner Pierce,
Second.
second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Visitors and delegations. I understand, Brandon, you'd like to say us up. Brandon's not on the agenda, but we was given permission to stop it. And
Yeah, I just haven't been here for a while to give the commission an update on how things are going at the rodeo, and we had a huge burden lifted off of our shoulders today. We got a contractor to agree to do all the dirt work. So Travis Abrahamson's going to be doing all of our dirt work for us, along with Schwan Oil's going to be running their trucks, helping us haul the dirt. So that was big, and the community support between businesses and even just private members of the community. We've had a lot of calls about advanced ticket sales, and our tickets are in the process of being printed right now, so they'll be available on Friday.
Very
So,
good. You
yeah.
meet all your financial goals?
Well, we exceeded them by about $10,000, $15,000.
That's good.
So, and by the way, I've understood it talking to past rodeo committee members. We've raised probably twice as much money as they ever did in the past. That when the rodeo used to go on.
You just found yourself a part-time job.
It's been more than that. So,
I saw that the Vice President Kurt Tagan
Yep.
was on Beck TV.
yep, we
Online
were on.
talking about-
He had an interview on a program on Beck TV called Dakota Cowboy, talking about kind of a little bit of the history of the rodeo and what it's taken to bring it back to the community and how long it was gone for. That was a pretty good interview. You can find that on becknews.com, I believe is the website. So,
That's pretty good.
if any of the commissioners have any questions, I don't know if anybody would at this point, but
Thanks for your hard work. I know what it's like to do some of that, so
Yeah.
keep up the good work.
all right, thank you.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go into commission portfolios. Start with Commissioner Pierce.
201's on its way back. We got that fixed. So as far as that goes, we're gonna have M&T's gonna come up and repump test 202 just to make sure everything is good to go on that. And we're just working with Strata to stay response ready. So
Hasn't been a big problem for you?
no, not yet. So
For Shade Tree, what I was told this morning is they've started work on them. They've got the list of trees that are going to be cut down. So the trees will be cut and the stumps are going to be taken care of by Angry Beaver at the same time.
How about those boulevards? You know, I've had some emails about hanging over branches and all that.
Those are all
they
going to be
gonna
taken care of. Last year they did the one side on the street side.
Mhm.
This year they're doing the other, and if anything else needs to be done, they're going to trim it all out, make it even. So
Okay.
and that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Robbins.
Mike, engineering first.
Just one thing for engineering, our projects are kind of in a wait status a little bit as far as the waiting on materials for the water main replacement project. So they haven't started. We're doing some field work there, utilities, smart enough lines in preparation for that project. The dig outs, full depth repairs for our street project are complete. Now it's just a matter of waiting for the contractor to start milling and placing the asphalt. But the same contractor doing our work is also working on the College Drive project. So they won't start our project until after College Drive. As far as College Drive is concerned, the plan and the goal for this week is to get from 6th Street going north paved. And then The next plan will be to start on the area south of the bridge to, Highway 2. They'll start grinding on that either late this week or early part of next. It's all weather dependent and equipment dependent and all of that stuff, but that's kind of the plan as it sits right now, where the working college are at. That's all I have for engineering, unless you have questions.
Hope you find there. Anything streets or?
We took possession of our new street sweeper. So
I
we
think we
waited
signed
on
that.
that for a long time. So, we're releasing that and hopefully with that, there'll be a lot less breakdowns and we'll be able to get through town and
I'll actually sweep it instead of just,
switch it around.
Pushing it around.
It's just, they're a high maintenance item.
Yeah.
Even on a lease, you're responsible for repairs because they're a high maintenance, high wear item. But, so streets took possession of that. Nothing in the mosquito traps, haven't received any complaints, so that's all I have for streets.
Do we still have more than one street sweeper or just the one, or do we have two?
That's correct. We have our old one.
Yeah, and we're still using
We
that
still
too.
have our old one, yep, and then we have this one. And what we really try and do is, in the spring and in the fall, try and hit it as hard as we can. Get the sand picked up in the spring and then chase the leaves in the fall. So keep on the catch basin.
All right. I'm good, thank you.
Commissioner Hatch?
Sanitation, anything?
The only thing in sanitation is they picked up their new skid steer. And they're happy with it, so they'll be processing one out. And I think the old one eventually, Nathan's going to your job for snow removal over there. So we'll work that through. That's all I have for sanitation.
That's all you get? Commissioner Hamrick?
Mike, utilities.
Nothing for utilities. They're out working on some different things, but nothing to report at the commission level.
Short and sweet, Mayor.
Short and sweet. All right. Chief?
We have North Dakota Peace Officers Convention this week. We'll have 2 delegates going to that. And then myself, I'm not considered a delegate, but I'll be going down there. And then that's in Bismarck. We're currently at full staff, which is a good thing. School starting, so SROs are getting acclimated to the schools again, back to they're going to be meeting with the superintendent and their delegated schools. We also have a plan in place where each officer is going to be assigned 2 schools where they'll be there 1 in the morning, and then that afternoon they'll be at the other school doing patrol or sitting in front of the school, making that area a little safer for kids at that time. So, yep, that's it. That's about it.
Is it?
I've been noticing a lot of speeding through there, just through the summer by Mini H. Is there gonna be someone posted there at good
You
times in the
talking
morning?
College Drive?
I mean, just for that's.
You know,
good zone there.
we do. I mean, a lot of times that's, they have crossing guards there and whatnot, but, during the school year, we have a unit that's usually over there by, the cell. There's a cell company over there, Verizon.
Verizon.
They sit with Verizon and do that patrol there. Surprisingly, we don't have a lot of speeders there, especially when the lights are on. And it's at school crossing time. But we will have somebody there. Like I said, we will have people assigned to those areas. Each one will have a specific school, which was different than before. It was just go do school zones. Well, what's that mean? So each one will have a specific school to go to. And so day in the morning and then afternoon. So
Thank you.
hopefully we can maybe slow that down a little bit. Maybe
Thank
we'll
you.
put that speed sign out too. Maybe that'll help.
I think that does a lot of work, a lot of good in
Yeah.
spots like the schools.
Well,
and
it
stuff.
tells you, you know what I mean? It-
Yep.
And, what's one person slows down? But it is a dangerous place.
Yeah.
I mean, that is it's been a big concern of ours because being 4 lanes, if one car slows down, another car may not be. And if there's a kid crossing at that point and they're not going to slow down, that could be a very dangerous place.
And I noticed just at the end of the school year last year, going through there at 7 o'clock in the morning, 2 or 3 cars are slowing down. The rest of them are just still going
Mhm.
right through there.
Mhm.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Yeah. But fortunately, most of those kids aren't crossing at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, but still,
Thank you.
that's all I have.
Okay. Spencer?
Mayor Mo, members of the commission, just first off, want to thank you guys for the fruitful conversations we've had during the budget process and preliminary approval last week. we'll have final approval on September 19th along with the public hearing. And we'll continue to update you until then as needed. Oh, I wanted to formally let you know that Rob Johnson has formally accepted the city assessor position and signed the offer of employment. So we're really looking forward to having him on the team and getting him acclimated with the city assessor position. And I'd also add that I had a phone call last Friday with Moody's, and our bond rating is staying the same at A2, which is, I think, a good thing. It was one of those things where I'm like, I asked her, "This is good news, right?" She's like, "Yes, this is good news. It's good news." So those are positive. And then I would just say that the school district's having their public forum tomorrow, where they're going to grant people opportunities to take tours. And, Mayor Mo and I, on behalf of the city, have engaged them just in the interest of the fact that, as community leaders, you guys often get good questions, maybe some things that aren't directly your purview. And one of the things that the school district, along with, I think, Mayor Mo has said, is with the referendum, there's concern as to what the future use of the middle school would be. And just in the interest of helping them gather public input, and with the understanding that should voters decide that building a new middle school is the direction they want to take the community, if the use of the current middle school building is to change, that it's going to take some action on behalf of the city, whether it's rezoning. Currently, it's not on the property tax rolls. Do we keep it that way? Are there any infrastructure investments need to be made there? So just in the interest of listening, the mayor and I have engaged them, and we'll be there just on behalf of the city to listen to public feedback as to what people view as the potential future uses.
Welcome to be
Yeah,
there also.
any commissioners are obviously welcome to attend, and I also Friday they're also sent out requests, as they're going to do private tours during the day throughout the week, if you guys are interested in those as well. So just encourage you to engage on that front if you'd like, and we're there to listen along with them. So with that, I would stand for any questions you guys have, if you have any.
Have you heard from the park board at all? They said they were going to attend the students' return to school nights and have that vote again.
Yeah.
Have you heard any more?
I know they have plans to engage the schools as part of the back to school stuff, as far as getting public feedback from the youth, particularly, right? I think I saw you there at the public forum they had over at the Burdick Arena, and it was mostly most people that weren't little kids anymore. And obviously part of that facility is to make it a multi-generational facility. And I think we've heard really good feedback from, we'll say, the 40 plus crowd, and trying to get some more public feedback from maybe the 18 and under crowd on what some things. So I know that they plan to do that.
I haven't heard any feedback on it, so I was just curious if you heard anything from them.
Not any update, but I not specifically, but I know that that's the plan. So
Thank you.
I don't want to speak for them.
Absolutely.
Any other questions of Spencer? Thanks, Spencer. Jack, anything you want to?
I got
Nothing. Good enough.
Mayor, members, one thing I would add is with the sales tax passing back in the June elections, the sales tax for the quality of life initiatives for the Park District, that's going to force us to have to amend our ordinances. As currently with the sales tax, we have it at a certain number, and there's certain exceptions, and there's a cap on this. And so we're going to have to add on the $0.25. And so working with Mr. Junker over here to amend those ordinances, and we'll bring that before you on the first meeting in September for a first reading, and then a second reading on September 19th, as we'll need to get that to the tax commissioner's office by the end of September. So it can take effect January 1.
Perfect. Okay, anything else? If not, we'll move on. Under old business, city department assessments.
Mayor Mo, members of the commission, as part of our last regularly scheduled city commission meeting, we had a conversation on organizational assessments and how we could utilize those to better the city and the organization broadly moving forward, and provided a memo, and as well as some email correspondence I had after I had received the memo from Ms. Weiler. And as you guys have probably read, she kind of sequestered the two types of assessments as identifying or locating concerns, and the other one as overall department functionality. And from what I heard from the commission, it was my understanding you guys are looking at the more broad departmental functionality portion of it to want to try and get on a reoccurring basis. And so she laid out a little bit in more detail on the departmental functionality. And then I would just, the last email that she sent right there on the top, she talks about how in the past we've used it to, locate concerns. And if we do this moving forward, for the sake of morale of the organization, clearly communicating and working up a plan with the understanding that this is for identifying opportunities where we've been successful and opportunities where there's growth opportunities. And it's not as I think the line she used was a fault finding mission. As we all just, what?
That's all it's ever been used for.
That's all it has ever been used for in the past. And so if we do decide to do something of the nature moving forward, making sure it's with the mindset that it's not a fault finding mission. It's a what are we doing well and a growth mindset with the city.
That part, but you also want to use it to find your weaknesses too.
Yeah, I think that's the growth part. Yeah.
Not faults, but where
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
'Cause
just used a few different words, I guess.
Yeah, because I think she was key to stress that being as in the past, it's only been used for those circumstances, so that if we do that moving forward, it's in a different spirit.
Yeah.
And it's understood organizational and why.
Are these done unanimously or anonymously? I mean, are these assigned?
I think you can do it any way that you want. And I talked to Tanya on the phone as well, and I just said, if it's the commission's desire for you to come, could you come to a future commission meeting to have a further discussion on it? She's more than willing to come and discuss that. But
Well, the fault ones were anonymously.
Okay.
But I'm not doing this to find
Oh,
faults.
no, I was just wondering if people are going to speak more freely if it is anonymous. And I didn't know in the past if that's how it's been done. So just kind of question.
And she talked about incorporating something like this as an overall strategic planning discussion as to where she saw this could be really beneficial. And, I think I asked her point blank of, okay, would this fall within something like this fall within your current contract? Would we add on? Would we just task the administration to do those? And she said, I can do it within my current contract, but probably not a full strategic planning process, but just a departmental assessment. And she kind of recommended we should find a different word for it, just given how the terms can intermingle and intertwine. And
we call ours our annual survey.
Annual survey.
Input survey is what we call it.
But some of this should be found on our evaluation process too, shouldn't it? Some of this fall into that category.
The evaluation process that we currently have in place is for each individual employee, right? So you're
Right.
looking at, micro one employee. What are the things that they're doing really well? And we worked with the employee to set goals for the future that we both mutually agree upon would benefit both them and the organization as a whole. So it's kind of more at a micro level. And I think the spirit of, I don't want to speak for Commissioner Hammer, but as more, not just one individual, but as the entire department view. So, like I said, just as at the request of the commission, Tanya worked up a memo. We had a couple email conversations back and forth. And if it's the desire of the commission, we can have her come and have a further conversation on this if it's something you'd like to see.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it would hurt to have her come in and say, if you want to do a broad survey of everybody every year, every other year, choose a couple different departments for this year, and there are multiple ways to tackle it, type of thing. But I see nothing but good that could come out of it myself, type of thing.
If we stick to, as you were saying, get away from the fault thing and what can we improve and what.
Yeah.
So we're looking at having her come and explain it a little bit more for us. Is that what we're at?
I think it would be a positive thing.
Okay.
I'd recommend that.
So I'll reach out to her in the meantime, and we'll find a mutually agreed upon date for her to come in, and we'll put this item on old business again for further discussion.
Thanks, Spencer.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, no action necessary on that. Nothing under consent agenda, so we will move into new business. Item number 1 is 2022 curb, gutter, and sidewalk pay estimate. I So I guess Mike is the one who wants to speak to that.
The pay estimate includes work completed to date. Total due for the pay estimate is $8,538.05. Recommend approval.
Motion.
Motion by Hamry, second by Hatch. Any discussion? Roll call?
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Robbins.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamry.
Aye.
President Mo.
Aye. Motion passed. Second item, mill and overlay project, 220-101, pay estimate number 2.
Again, it's work that's been completed to date. As I mentioned to the commission, we kind of break it out by the individual sections of work, the different areas. So you have a street improvement district, you have a Remington street improvements, as well as downtown parking lots. That's why you see those different sections within your the pay estimate. Total due this estimate, $123,358.40. Again, it's for work completed today. Recommend approval.
I'll make motion to approve Mike's recommendation.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins,
Second.
second by Commissioner Pierce. Any discussion? Roll call?
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Robbins.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamry.
Aye.
President Mo.
Aye. Okay, last item, motion to approve the bills as submitted.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hamry, second by Commissioner Hatch. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Robbins.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamry.
Aye.
President Mo.
Aye. And one last item is miscellaneous is the Devils Lake Municipal Report for the month of July. And that exercise is on tomorrow night or Wednesday night,
Wednesday.
right? Okay, I plan to be there,
Triannual. Yeah.
so if that's okay.
I want to do
At the airport, so, yeah. I want to watch the commandant's place here. So
I'm an assessor.
You were an assessor, I saw that. No, I think that'll be great, so. Okay, anything else come before the commission? If not, meeting adjourned.